Hi and welcome to another Hitman Roulette. This time we're in Bangkok, taking down Jordan Cross and Ken Morgan. Let's have a look at what the roulette's drawn this time. We're starting undercover in the linen room, so let's get started from there because it's going to be a fast one. We immediately go into this room, we're going to grab the soda can just to be safe, and we've got to keep an eye out for that gardener who's bending down because he is crafty as anything with his head turning. We pick up the keycard and we go and grab another soda can. The reason why we're picking up soda cans is just in case you haven't got melee weapons, you've always got something in reserve. You might need it. We're going to pick up a screwdriver and we're going to lure this security guard. We've got breach charges, we're going to throw it against the wall, pick it back up, shut the door, and then drop it on the floor so he'll come and investigate to pick it up. Now that all that's gone on, because like I said it was a fast start, let's go through the kill conditions. We've got to kill Jordan Cross as one of Jordan Cross's bodyguards with a loud shotgun, and we've got to kill Ken Morgan as hotel security with a small melee weapon. Finally, we have to exit the level via Tuk Tuk, and as extra complications we are not allowed to climb or vault, and we're not allowed to crouch. Now I want to add my own personal definition of crouch, which is that I actively press the R3 button. The simple reason being that in animations sometimes when you knock someone out or when you're dragging someone you will go into a crouch. I would not call that actively crouching, I would call that the game trying to create a crouch just because it wants to put 47 into cover. So if you see me actively crouching, then yes, I've not fulfilled the conditions, but I do not believe I did. Anyway, we're keeping an eye out for the hotel manager, can't remember her name, and once we're past it, we're going to go to the security room. The reason being we want to take out the cameras. We're going to be on this wing for the entire level pretty much, so we don't want to be faffing around with cameras. So pick another soda can up, or two or three, however many you fancy. Take out a silenced pistol and take a shot at the surveillance tapes. Now there is a security guard there and it will say crime noticed, but if you immediately go to a coin and walk out the room, you will not get caught. Crime notice just is a case that the security guards have recognised that something has happened that is illegal, but they do not know who to blame, so carry on as normal. We're coming into this room next, we're going to turn this TV on, and it's going to alert one of Jordan Cross's bodyguards to come into the room. We're going to wait here with the hammer out, and then we're going to knock him out. Make sure you close the door before doing it. With any pacifications in this roulette, it's best to use melee thrown takedowns rather than actual close quarters takedowns, for the simple reason if you do a close quarters one it immediately puts you into a crouch. So as I'm trying not to crouch actively, I'm trying to avoid the close quarters takedowns. It doesn't mean that it's possible in every situation, but if I can, that's what I've done. Next, going upstairs, I've got Jordan Cross's bodyguard disguise on. I'm going to get the shotgun that I need. The enforcer there is a bit of a pain, but he always turns around. And to be honest, it just gives me a chance to take a minute because those opening 3 minutes were pretty hectic. If anything, it took me probably 20 plus times just to get the timing right on that gardener in the laundry room. So you do have to really practice that. I've got to state that very clearly. Moving on, we're going to get the shotgun. I've left it up here. It's just around the corner. And I've bought, I think it was the MRAV 5 or MRAV 4 or whatever it's called. There is a silenced variant obviously, and there is another one. Just bring whichever one makes the noise. So for the first kill for Jordan, it's really a case of finding the best place to hide his body, because you've got to kill him and then hide him pretty much within a matter of seconds. So I try using this room, if not for the actual kill, more for just luring him in and then dragging him around. I've used a breach charge, but I'm going to warn you, be careful how you place it. I placed it on the door probably a centimetre or two lower than what I did in this clip, and for some reason non-target killed popped up, and I had a complete look around the floor below, and no body bags were there, no dead bodies just lying there. So for some reason it triggered it. So just a fair warning to you, if you do try what I've tried with the breach charge, that can happen. I've got no real explanation for why, but it can happen. So again, this is the room where we're going to do it, but Jordan didn't come this way, which I should have known. So instead, what I'm going to do is work on Ken's kill. For that, what we need is Dexy Barrett's letter. So we're going to head downstairs again, watching out for this fella again. He turns around momentarily, and then we're going to head downstairs. Again, I'm going to offer a fair warning regarding this section. There's a recording crew member who, for some reason, decides to come in the bathroom that we're about to enter. That's after you've knocked out the non-target you need to knock out. So, I can't really explain that either. Again, I've just had NPCs wandering into places they really had no right to be wandering into. So the best thing I can advise is do what I do here, which is lure the target, the non-target into the room and subdue. As you'll see, I did use a close quarter subdue, but I immediately got out of the crouch before moving. And then I decide to hide his body as best as I can behind this bathtub, but it isn't exactly brilliant. You know, if someone does walk in, the chances are it's going to be seen. So just do the best you can with it, but I can't really guarantee that it won't be seen. So yeah, try your best, but again, NPCs will be NPCs with things like this. This whole section of the video to me underlines the problem with Ken Morgan. He's a very unwilling target in that he will do whatever he can to not be lured. You know, he's got a bodyguard who will always chase after things for him, even if he's not in the near vicinity of him. You've got challenges that force him to go from one end of the map to another, it feels like. I mean, just look at the one where you push him off the balcony. You have to get a hotel staff disguise, you have to take him all the way up to his suite, you have to show him all the way around the suite and make sure everything's cleaned up after him. And then you have to wait for him to walk around with his bodyguard before you can push him. That is a lot of steps just for a kill, and there's no way I was going through any of them for this video. So the best thing I can advise is, if you don't like this idea or this opportunity I've used regarding the linen room, find another one that you'd prefer and go through that. But personally, I found this one to be the most convenient because if you get Ken close to his part of the route when you're handing the letter, he'll go straight down there. So again, it's your choice, but personally this was my preference. As you could see, I was trying to use the kill room that I set up, but Jordan was too far away, so instead I used this room. Again, there's a wardrobe in here or a closet, so I know I can use it. I was a bit late with that coin, but I'll try again. And this does lure Jordan. So it's a simple kill for me. Just make sure that you subdue him first. Don't just shoot him with the shotgun, otherwise you're asking for trouble. Subdue him, then take the shotgun out, and all you've got to do is drag him to the closet afterwards. Well, you can even do it before if you want to do what I did. Once he's hidden away, you've got to get out of there fast. I actually struggled a bit because, as you can see, I've got two enforcers running straight at me. I was very fortunate to get out of that without trouble. Got another one coming straight at me. Luckily, again, I actually don't know why he didn't spot me there. I try and go down the stairs. There's one down here. I try to go down the other stairs. Yeah, you just really have to be on your toes with the enforcers. I got out of there quicker than I thought I would, but yeah, just be hot on your toes. So moving on, I did look at the mini-map, check that enforcer on the stairwell there wasn't looking. But from now, I'm going to hand the letter in from Dexy Barrett, because we want to get Ken moving. If you do it any later, chances are he won't catch it, so try and do it as early as you can. It could just be a personal opinion, but I don't feel there are a lot of enforcers to Jordan Cross's bodyguard's disguise. So I'm standing here, and this is probably one of the few that are around the main hotel. You obviously have more upstairs, but around here there aren't that many. So it's quite easy to just place the letter on there and make your way back upstairs. You've got a choice at this point. You can go back for the disguise that you used before, which is what I do. But you can, if you find it more convenient, go and get a fresh disguise. For example, there's a guard just waiting on the floor below. You could easily knock him out, take his disguise, and just wait for Ken. I prefer just getting the disguise I'd already got, but it's entirely up to you. It could depend on if you've got speed issues, where, for example, Ken's going to be way away yet. If you want to make sure that you're just doing something to fill the time, knocking out a guard, it just takes up some time, doesn't it? So, going back downstairs, I'm actually going to look for Ken at this point because I wasn't sure what part of his route he was on. I had a feeling he'd probably just be about to go and try one of the meals again, but I wasn't 100% certain. As it turns out, I could have actually done what I've described, which is change disguise by actually going to a guard and actually subduing him. I had plenty of time on my hands. I must have put the note down at the wrong part of his route where he'd only just returned, so I had loads of time. As you can see, he's just going back to the restaurant for a bite to eat, so I've got nothing left to do, so I'm just going to go to the kill zone. This roulette was actually a last minute substitution. I was going to do another Bangkok roulette, which I'll put in the description below, but I couldn't achieve the Ken Morgan kill. I needed to kill him via electricity, but however I tried, I could not do it. One of the problems being that I needed to do it in 47 suit. So unless I went on a massive pacification spree and managed to hide all of the bodies and get Ken Morgan up to, say, the 3rd floor of this wing, it was impossible. Anyway, if you have an idea, let me know. I picked up a wrench for the Tuk Tuk exit, but from here there's nothing else to do until Ken arrives, so I'm going fast forward. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so once Ken's in the room, what we're going to do is we're going to just hide around here. It's pretty straightforward, but once Ken sends his bodyguard out, this becomes a trespassing zone. So just be careful of that. It might sound a little too simple, that, but you can easily get caught by, say, the gardener or just Ken with his head turning, so just make sure you stay behind cover. What I was saying earlier about Ken as well, regarding the fact that he's a target who doesn't want to be lured or easily manipulated, that I believe is summed up perfectly in the following clip, where I get a coin out and think, right, can I get him nearer the crate to make it an easier kill? And what does he do? He hears the coin, but instead of going to investigate it himself when he's in a room on his own, he calls his guard through the door. Naturally, this stalls everything because not only has the bodyguard got to come in and have a look, but he has to also report to Ken that nothing's gone on. For me, this is where the developers just needed to give the player an opportunity to meddle with him a little bit, because the only way you can actually manipulate Ken is if you've got rid of the bodyguard. And even then, if you've got rid of the bodyguard, sometimes he'll ask other security officials or members of the hotel staff to do something for him as well. So it just means he's a really unwilling target, as I've said. It doesn't matter in the end because you can just throw the screwdriver and it's a kill the same, but it just means that if you are worried, for example, about the bodyguard coming back in the room, you aren't able to take the initiative. You've got to take the risk, which for me isn't fair play, I personally believe. So what I'm doing now, I'm going the long way to the exit, and the reason I'm doing that, I don't want to bump into Ken Morgan's bodyguard. That might sound a little bit of overkill, but at this point I've been playing this map, if not this roulette, for 6 hours. So I was just at the point where I didn't want to take any chances, I just want to get out of there. If you fancy your chances against Ken Morgan's bodyguard, take your chance. Again, the hotel manager was here and I thought, nope, not risking it. So I took the long way around here as well. After that, it's just a case of repairing the Tuk Tuk and you can exit. So I'd like to thank you for watching. If you've heard my voice and it sounds a bit scratchy, it's probably just from the fact that, again, I've been concentrating on this for 6 hours and I'm beginning to just feel the effects of not talking really during that 6 hours, other than the live stream I did when I was really getting frustrated. I want to thank the viewers viewers who've seen that, because it was just something off the cuff. I wasn't planning on doing it, but it really did get me through. So thank you for watching this, subscribe to my channel and like this video. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.